So doing a supported dumbbell curl is going to be much more effective for training arms than any sort of traditional standing curl because we have this support to push up against. So to set this up, what we're going to sit backward on a lat pull down. We're basically just going to face away from where we would normally face if we were doing any sort of pulling type motion. We're going to jam our elbow into the pad throughout the entirety of the range, and before we actually put the dumbbell in our hand, we're going to kind of lean over and make sure that our forearm can basically move perpendicular to the floor at all times. If you find that your forearm is moving inward or outward, that's going to be a problem. So rotate to a point and lean over to a point where that motion is just purely vertical. Then slap the dumbbell in your hand as you sort of lean back into the pad, and basically make sure that you don't lose contact with that pad throughout the entirety of the range. It's very common for people to get to the top of this motion and then at the top start to pull away from it. So make sure that you're sort of actively doing a little bit of a row into the pad. You feel pressure on the back side of the elbow, a little bit of a lean, and then you just mimic that exact same arm path throughout the entirety of the range. So something to keep in mind as you go through this motion, week over week, and you start to get stronger at it, is that you're going to start to realize that it's a little bit more difficult to stabilize. So from the side perspective, what I like to tell people to do is use that same side leg to actually drive you backward into the pad. And notice that when I lean back and I'm sort of supported up on this thing, that my arm at the bottom isn't actually 90 degrees from the floor. It's a little bit sort of angled backwards. So rather than being here and having a resistance profile that makes it hardest at this point, I'll actually have it so where I'm a little bit stronger and a little bit more of a lengthened position. So drive yourself back into the pad. Again, if you can, I personally can at this point, grab the pole in addition to that so that you don't get pulled forward, so that you basically have multiple points of contact on which you can actually pull yourself back into the pad and stay stabilized there throughout the entirety of the range, both at the bottom and at the top.